Well, there we go. That was amazing. Thank you very much there to Daz. Oh god, I can hear myself. Okay, there we go. That wasn't as amazing. That was fantastic. It was great to see Daz, it was great to see Kushan, and I didn't actually get to see the guy beforehand, but I'm sure he did a great job as well. But that was amazing to watch. Learned a lot there. Always good to see the mighty Daz, but to be honest, I usually watch him for the Dwarf Fortress. He's very, very fun watching that. But indeed, today we will be playing Gary Grisby's War in the East, and we will be playing Operation Typhoon, which is going to be quite fun, actually. Yeah, hear himself. Yeah, Daz plays Dwarf Fortress, unless I'm, like, suffering from some sort of mental deficiency. I'm pretty damn sure he plays Dwarf Fortress. Stop making me question myself now. I'm going to have to check that out. No, that was fantastic. So we will get going here in just a moment. There are a few things I just want to mention first of all. I am using a map mod, but it's a map mod where it only actually kicks in when you zoom in closer up. In some ways I actually do prefer that, as it does make it quite simple just to zoom in and get a proper picture, so that's quite nice. Okay. But of course, this is quite a big day for Slytherin. It's been really awesome so far. We do have a publisher sale on Steam, so definitely go ahead and check that out. And of course, there is a Field of Glory tournament as well going on at the moment. Really worthwhile checking out. But here we go. We'll get right into things then, shall we? So you're going to see here in a second what I mean. So as you can see here, we do have the really far zoomed out view here of Operation Typhoon. Now, this doesn't look especially fantastic, but you'll see right in a second here. Ah, look at that. I love this map mod. I think it looks fantastic. I don't know what you guys think here, but it feels like you get a sort of like 3D sense of the actual map, and I really do like that. Like, you can sort of see the hills here, the actual... I really like it. I think it looks fantastic. But indeed, we're going to be playing Operation Typhoon here today, which is really the operation aimed at taking Moscow from the Red Army here. The Axis forces, truth be told, we are at the absolute limit of our logistics here. This is very much a case of bang or bust. For those of you who are not familiar with War in the East, I do like to think of it as war against the most, using the least. It's one of those games where you've really got to go ahead and try to use the best to get things to work. Yeah, it really does. I'll post a link as well, actually. It is definitely well worth checking out. Absolutely well worth your time here. I'll post a link there in the chat. So there's the link that I downloaded it from, but it looks fantastic. All you need to do is put in the no zoom to part of the art. But yeah, it looks fantastic. I just really, really like this. It's a shame about this aspect, but to be honest, it does make it a little bit easier. The game runs quite quickly like that as well. Hey, Divine Jackal, it's good to have you, my friend. But indeed, we're going to get started here. So, of course, our main objective is going to be, of course, the Grand City of Moscow. Though, in all fairness, it has been burnt down before, and it probably will be burnt down again. I don't imagine the Soviets miss it too much. Okay, let's see. I want to show the objectives here, just make it easy. Truth be told, I am more familiar with War in the Pacific than I am with War in the East right now. Ah, here we go. Victory locations. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. So, of course, we do have a number of victory locations, a number of objectives over here. So we have the city of Orel. Bryansk. I think that's Bryansk. Bryansk. I'm mispronouncing that horrifically. And I'm not apologetic in the least there. There's not much that can be done about that. Of course, the reserve, we do have Kalinin over here to the north. Now, thankfully, with this being a smaller scenario, more focused scenario, we do not have to take into consideration how the army group of the north fares or how the army group of the south is faring currently. We do have a number of assets under our command, so what we're going to go ahead and do then is take a look at the mighty order of battle. So we do have Oberkommando de here, under the command of General Albert Franz Halder. And actually, no, I was saying that we do have elements of Army Group North, and of course, we do have Army Group Center here. So we have General Field Marshal Wilhelm von Lieb, and we have General Field Marshal Theodor von Bock. So we can see our numbers here then. So the number in the brackets over here is what we actually have ready. Now, this is what we have in total, but what you have in total and what you actually have in the field are two completely different things. As we have just shy of 1.5 million men there. Not too far off from 15,000 guns, though truth be told, I always find the guns to be the really big indicator. Having the AFVs is all well and good, but I do find the guns is really the big indicator of how well you're doing there. How you doing there, Comment Star? Good to have you, my friend. And we can see that we actually do have a fairly equal standing with the Soviets in terms of guns. It's not too far different. Armor, obviously not too far off. And we do actually have a slight... pretty close over here. We're not too far away. Yeah, Finland on screen. It's all the way to the north, though. Do let me know, guys, if the music is entirely too loud. I can adjust that on the fly. But we'll take a look at what we actually have then. So we have the 16th Army, the 4th Panzer Group, the 101st, RHG Command, Luftwaffe 2, okay, 4th, 9th, 2nd, 3rd, and then there's also the 19th Panzer Division that is attached to 3rd Panzer Group, but not to an actual corps, and 2nd Army. Yeah, I know, right? It's a pretty dramatic change of scale here. And this is it, we have divisions. The Soviets will, at a later point, have actual corps as well. I would think, take Kilgore Reserve and trap the troops. Well, this is it. This is what we need to do, is actually get an idea of what we are going to do here. Now, if we take a look, we are going to be following the greatest... well, we need to be like water, basically. We need to take the path of least resistance. So you know that we do have the clear terrain over here, and that is really very valuable to us. Something to bear in mind is obviously going to be the logistics as well. We do have the rail lines, which are represented over here. Do note there will be a War of the East 2 coming out in the near future. I think it will be this year, but that's going to be using a very different sort of mechanics. It's going to be using mechanics that are very similar to One of the West, and I believe the air model is going to borrow heavily from One of the West as well. So it's going to be really awesome. You're going to have real problems with logistics in the East, and I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely looking forward to that. Okay, yeah, definitely One of these two. That's one to watch out for. So imagine the mechanics of One of the West, but obviously set in the East, which is what I love. I love One of the East for the actual setting, which is fantastic. Okay, so if we take a look over here, then, we do have clear terrain to the south over here at City of Asma. Tula is not too bad of an option, as we do have a lot of clear terrain over here. But to be fair, I found it's often the case of trying to use the terrain to your benefit. The weather is with us right now. We don't have a report of the weather. Oh no, we do have the weather report over here. Okay, so it's currently clear right now. But we'll see. We'll see. That's not going to last too long. So what we need to do then is we need to figure out where we have our strength and where we do not have our strength. We need to figure out where the rail lines are and where we need them to be. So right now we actually do have the rail lines down here by Smolensk. We have another rail construction group over there. And over there, yep. So we just have the two over here, which does make things a little bit more difficult. Just going to turn the music down just ever so slightly. Do let me know if you guys want to have it turned up again. I'm going to adjust that. There we go. Just to have it as nice background music. Okay, so we do have the FPD-1 over here. They are attached to the 2nd Panzer Group. So this is something to bear in mind as well. We do have the 2nd Panzer Group down here. They are aimed at Kursk over here, which is an important city. We do have objectives elsewhere besides Moscow, but Moscow is going to be the big boy there. Now we can go ahead and take a look at the victory points and which cities are worth the most. So you can see that Moscow itself, Northern Moscow, North Moscow, West Moscow, 50-50 and 100 there. Moscow is going to be worth a hell of a lot. Reserve is not worth too much. Kalinin and Tula, yeah, you can see that some of these cities are worth definitely more than others. Like, for the most part, Kursk doesn't really mean anything to us right now. They do have armament production there, but we're not seeing any T-34 production, so obviously that's been since shifted. So what we need to do then is take a look at this. We'll see what we actually have within the city. So there is some supply in the cities and a little bit of fuel that we can see. Now, we do not get anywhere near that much. I believe we get half if we're lucky. Right, 1,100 supply there. In Tula, we do have 3,050 supply. We also do have some slight production. None of that comes in really particularly useful. Ryazan, 2,000 tons of supply there. Supply is really what you're going to be looking out for. The good news that we do find with borders is that these towns over here they are potential sources of supply and potential sources of shelter as well during the winter. But ideally we could take this city before the weather turns on us. Yeah, for the most part we are going to be looking towards taking supply as we move forward, just to account for the poor logistical system over here. But there's a lot of actual, I suppose you could call it observation, that must be done before we actually do truly get into the game. The reason is we need to assess where the Soviets are strong and where they are weak, where we are strong and where we are weak, and where we need to be strong and where we need to be weak. Which is easier said than done. Another good way as well to start out is by taking a look at the rail lines. We need to take a look at where we're going to have the rail lines follow up, and that's going to dictate the advance there pretty much. So we can see that we do have the FPD-3 over here. And if I remove the actual units, you can see that's going to be following the rail line over here, so past the town of Jurovo, towards the city of Vyazma. Now, we don't have as much in the way of infantry to the north, nor to the Soviets. They do have divisions, obviously, here, but not especially powerful ones. I really enjoy playing one turn, one of these per one session scenario. Yeah. No, I totally get what you mean. The Grand Campaign obviously is rather daunting at first, but once you have a really good grasp of what you're doing, then you know you're going to enjoy that. Okay. So we do have the 3rd Panzer Group over here, which is good. We also have with us the 4th Panzer Group. And in the centre, we have 4th Army, 9th Army. Okay. So we do have 2 armies and 2 Panzer Groups over here, though their strength may vary. But if we take a look at this over here, I'm also going to bring up the handy-dandy drawing tools, because they do come in exceedingly useful. So they're going to pop up in just a moment, like so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a nice... let's see how... Actually, no, we'll go for the army colours, actually. That's not a bad idea. So let's see. So we've got blues over here, okay. I'll put the arrows on, and then we'll get going first. Okay, so we do have this axis of clear terrain over here, which is actually quite handy. The issue is we do have some actual marshland over here, which is not exactly useful to us. But the good news is once we actually move beyond this small area over here and beyond the forest, we actually do break out into open terrain over here. So it would be a decent point to move on towards Kaluga. But what I'm going to more than likely do is try to bypass Kaluga as much as possible and try and form like a really wide open area over here that the Soviets will feel compelled to defend. So I want to go around here. I mean, obviously it's going to mean that our flanks will be threatened, but we do have the advantage of the river over here as well. We do have the forest as well to anchor our defences as much as possible. But I do want to head towards Tula and then turn to the north. Yeah, at least with these forces over here. I think what we need to try to decide is what is going to work out with the best results, and that's a tough decision, really. It depends on how strong the Soviets are, and just, yeah. I mean, if we take a look over here, I'm kind of tempted by this direction due to the fact that we do have fairly weak forces over here. They're not too strong over this side either. So what we'd aim to do then is try and wrap them up and try to pocket them as much as possible. But even then, it's a case of, is it worthwhile trying to destroy the pockets, or is it just enough just to leave the bare minimum force just to keep the pockets contained while we do continue to move on? We absolutely are pushed for time, we're pushed for logistics, we're pushed for men, we're pushed for armor, we're pushed for artillery. It's not going to be great. Yeah. No, you are right there. And the good news is, if we do approach from the south, we do cross the river over here, and then at least we are moving on to Moscow from the south, and this part of Moscow, which is West Moscow, is not protected by the river. The good news as well is I could potentially cross over this way and possibly cut some of these rail lines. Yeah, no, as you say that kind of start, it's really trying to figure out where the rail lines are and trying to figure out how to deal with that. The Soviets will feel compelled to defend. Yeah, that's a good one there, KG. Okay. The hardest part is always choosing where to start. That's the fun part. As far as it goes over here in the north, there's not tremendous amounts of terrain that lend itself well to advance. There is a road over here that we could potentially use, obviously, for clear terrain. But yeah, we do have the River Volga over here, we do have the forest, we have lakes over here. It's not easy. It might be worth to try and move on to Kalanin just to try and isolate Moscow from the north, but even then that's going to be a difficult one to do. Though Kalanin has a lot of supply. Wow. Okay, that's significantly more than I expected. Holy moly. That's a lot of supply in Kalanin. That's actually really... That's really tempting. That's a... How many zeros have we got in there? Is that 100,000 or more? My eyes are blind, so is that 1, 2, 3... Is that a million? Honestly, God, I can't quite read it. I'm a little bit blind. I probably do need to get a better monitor or potentially better glasses. But is that a million? Is that 10 million? 1, 2... 100k. Okay, yeah, I'm blind. I honestly could not tell the zeros apart there. I would not bother using troops of the 16th Army. No, that's not a bad idea, considering that there's not many of them. It might be that we have an ability to sweep the 3rd Panzer to the north. That's probably going to be the closest we get there. For the most part, what I'm going to do is actually split up the divisions of the 9th Army to the north over here, just to cover a wider area. Though I might use them where... applicable to try and push through. Divisions like this we can use though. But saying that, they are useful to try and just batter these divisions aside. And then we leave them to remain in place. Okay. Now see, something that we could potentially do as well. Is, so we've got 16th over here. We've got 9th over here. Okay, I'm going to write that down just so I don't forget about that. So that's not a good colour. Choose something that stands out. So 16 and was it 9th? This will come apparent in a second. So we'll go to the commander's report over here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here and sort by armies. Am I going to have to do from this? I might have to do from this one here. So, army 9th. Okay, may have to go within the divisions. So, we'll go with all then. I'm going to sort it by 9th. I'm going to look for the 9th Army. Which is easier said than done. So, see these guys attached directly to the 9th Army. I tell you what, a better idea is to look at it by corps headquarters, isn't it? Alright, let's see. I can check by level of headquarters. Whoops. What I'm considering doing here is reducing the actual table of equipment of armies that aren't going to be really any use. Right, there we go, we've got Corps. Okay. We've got the 9th Army Corps, we've got the 16th Army Corps over here. Okay. So, units maximum table of equipment settings. Now, the reason I'm considering this is it does potentially allow us to have the men and material that would normally go to these armies, well, normally go to these corps and obviously their parent armies. I could potentially have it shifted to the armies that are going to be needing it potentially more. The 16th isn't likely to take much in the way of fighting, so they're not likely to lose much. So what I'm going to do then is reduce it down to, I think I might go for a risky 60% as their maximum. And we'll see how that turns out. Though saying that, it probably is worth it to go to 80 first and then 60, as we can see really how much we need. So we'll go to 80% for the time being. Some of these are actually just set to 80 to begin with, but some of these are set to higher. We're going to try and clear out some units for other armies here, really. Maybe even 70. I think we'll go for 70 then, just to make sure we have some assets flying around there. I'm also going to take a look at stripping them of support assets like engineers, especially my pioneers. Right, there we go. So let's see, 2nd Corps, we do have howitzers, we do have heavy warfare battalions. Yeah, you see these guys are brilliant. They're going to come in very handy. I think what we need here is we need to figure out what is going to be worthwhile. I do only have 25 administration points as well. What we need to do then is take a look. Let's see. Army group. So, Army group center is over capacity. Army group north is not. So that's something that's very important to bear in mind. Something to bear in mind as well, if we take a look at we do have von Bock over here. 5-7, 3-5-7-8. We could potentially have him replaced. But then that's a very expensive thing to do, and it's probably worthwhile to use this, well, the points for other things, really. You can see we do have these leaders here, and they're all currently assigned to this level. White, blue. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, it's something to bear in mind. I mean, morale's a very good one. I mean, Guderian there with 9. The infantry at 7. Oh no, that's mechanized, sorry. I always think it's morale. That's mechanized. Morale's over here, isn't it? I believe it's morale. But we have 9 there for mechanized, 7 there. And those are pretty high numbers. Administration, though, Kesselring does win out there massively, it seems. Let's see. Oh no, is that air? Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind. That must be air, then. Seriously, air. Oh, okay. That's interesting. 8 in air. Huh. Yeah, that's really interesting. I just didn't anticipate it to be air. I wonder what kind of effect that could have. You can see I'm definitely used to War in the Pacific at this point. Okay, let's see. We do have a 19th Panzer Division floating around there, which we saw earlier. Okay, so their table equipments have been reduced, which is good to see. I'm going to see if they have any actual support assets assigned to them, because those will be the ones we will be taking in the near future. We do have a security division on the front line as well. Okay, so they don't have any assets assigned to them directly, nor do these divisions here. We are going to be getting going here shortly. It always takes me a little while to warm up as I get myself familiarized with what's going on here. But Pioneers, Stugs, awesome, really handy. Constructions are useful as well, but yeah, howitzers and guns, definitely worthwhile. Yeah, that does make sense now, but now. I just didn't expect it. I just assumed that was like administration, but no, it is indeed no, it makes sense there. Luftwaffe. Well, a Luftflotte 2, isn't it? Okay. So I suppose the question is, another possibility is, I should say, we do have a Panzer Group over here. I don't have enough to actually change the command of the Panzer Group, however. I could change the core, but then is it worthwhile to change the core? Probably not. The way we're probably going to get the most bang for our buck is really taking the support assets away from the 16th and the 9th. 2nd Panzer is nice. Luckily, there's not much in the way of opposition to them. I will, for the most part, just ignore Kursk. Yeah, no, I can't blame you. Yeah, but for the most part, I'm going to pretty much ignore them, push on towards Tula. If there's resistance, it's not worth dealing with it. We need to move quickly. We do have something that might be a potential pocket over here, but the terrain doesn't lend itself very well to that. Okay. Now, as far as we go over here, we do have rough terrain. This area is just, it's just not really worth it. There is a rail line there. It would be nice to try and push and just cut that rail line there. Just try and prevent these troops from pulling back. But that's easier said than done. Do we need to garrison? Yeah, we do need to garrison. So I press Shift K. So you can see that we do have cities over here that are not being garrisoned. Thankfully, for the most part, we do have them all garrisoned, but that's going to become a problem later. And the reason why you want to garrison these cities is so you do not suffer partisan problems. So we're going to have the 281st move out here to Veliki Liki, however you pronounce that. So that does satisfy the garrison requirement, which is good. Okay. Question is, how many men do I really need here? Because I could have potentially the 32nd Division and the 123rd Division assigned elsewhere. They are pretty strong. It is a bit of a risk putting all of this under the command of maybe 2 or 3 divisions, but it might be worthwhile. You have really 2 main pockets you can make. One at Vyazma, one at Gdansk. Aye. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Obviously, we have the Panzer here, we have the Panzer here. It does lend itself well. But as I said earlier, I really do not want to linger. It is probably going to put us in a difficult position, but we need to push on. Now, Kalinin is really a really nice, tempting target there, so it might be worthwhile to take the Panzers or potentially some element of the Panzer to the north. The reason being, just to try and grab that supply is really nice. Do we have an idea how much supply we have? So there's a lot in the stores. Supply in units is 25,000 though. 20,000 it seems. So to actually capture that much supply is a real big game changer. At least in the field, it does dramatically help us out. It's a lot of supply that's accessible. Not that we'd get all of it, but even partial amounts of that would be fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do here then is just cover the line. And then see what I can actually spare to relieve. Well, just to give us the ability elsewhere to have an impact. So now we'd play the shelled game. Okay. And I could potentially give this division. So you could actually benefit from having the 206 division. But I could potentially push these forces. Like the 32nd could be pushed over here. A possibility would be to use a rail line, but then again the rail line's all the way down here. So the main thing is going to be to probably have these divisions assigned to an army command perhaps, or potentially to a corps command. We do have... Okay, that's a Luftwaffe corps. Okay. So probably it's going to be to go to one of these corps over here. Not that one. One of these. We do have the army. The army's nearly overburdened actually, so that's something to bear in mind. So what it might be worthwhile to do then... God damn it, I've only got the one core there. Oops. Good thing there's an undo button. So I've only got the one core command there. We do have one there, but I do have the army. Right. Knife army. There's an element of your... Right. Okay, so that's also the knife army. Ooh, that's something to bear in mind then, isn't it? So I'm going to change the actual settings of the knife army then. Yeah, I can't hurt them like that. So knife is actually lucky in this instance. I'm going to have their allotment increased to... even then. Even then. That's a tough one. Can I set it for everybody? It would be nice. Right, okay. What I'm going to do here then is I'm going to set everybody to 80. Now, what I'm going to do then as well... 16th Army is going to go down to 60. There we go. The reason for this is I'm going to have this system work so I can actually allocate assets to where they need to be. There's no point having everybody on 90 or something like that. So we have the 16th reduced most, and then what we'll do is take those assets and have them pushed into the actual formations that need it. So we'll decide that as we move on. Okay. So it's a bit awkward over here. We do have a core, thankfully. It is outside command range because you're attached directly to the 9th Army. At least I can assign you to the 8th Corps. Luckily that was free, which is very nice. See, that increases their combat ability quite nicely. Okay, there is a... what's the button again now? Let's see. Shift. There's one that shows you... Is it Shift A? Ah, Shift Z, there we go. So, Shift Z, there we go. So we click that, we can see its parent headquarters, and we can see the units that are attached to it as well, which is really, really handy. Makes it very useful just to see what you have. Okay. What I'm going to do then is hold these divisions, potentially... I don't know, it could give me some oomph to push through over here actually by having these extra divisions. And I could move the core headquarters to actually cover that. So, what I'm going to do then is shift you... See, there's a clear terrain there. I could potentially shift these divisions south, concentrate them, punch through. That might be worthwhile. We do see the 243rd Rifle Division there. But what we're going to do then is... Let's see, I've got airfields over here. What do you have? Right, Junker 52s, Junker 88s. Okay, HS126. Yeah, it's in a difficult position there, isn't it? Right, just shifting you there. Right, that satisfies me, everybody, besides these guys for the time being. Then the rail line, so they're fine. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to run reconnaissance, so I'm going to zoom out into the old map mode. There we go. We'll turn the flags off. Okay, so we can see the range at which we can run reconnaissance. I'm going to let the AI do that. Right. So good so far. That's handy then. So there isn't a huge amount of depth over here then. There is some more depth over here, so I think what we are going to do then is, let's see. So you can't be shifted as far south as I would like you to be able to be. Somewhat regret moving those guys, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to have you shift. Have you shift down there. It's not a bad idea as well to have you move towards the rail line either. If I take a look over there, so supply details. Range to rail, whereabouts is it? MP to rail, range to rails 4, yep, there we go. So at least they'll actually take on a little bit more supply. Or a little bit more efficiently anyway. Right, now they do have a lot more movement available to them. Okay. I may use them just to cover this area here, and I think that's probably a good idea. So what I'm going to do then is have you moved here, have you actually divided. Okay, that allows me to actually concentrate our forces. Point of where I'm going to concentrate there is going to be important. I do want to clear about 3 hexes. Oh, that swamp's awful. Right. We do have clear, well, so clear, light woods, clear. So that would be the area to punch through if we do punch through anywhere. Right, yeah. So what I can do then is I can actually concentrate... I might be able to pull another division from the south. We do have a panzer division over here to help us out if needs be. That's something to bear in mind. But what I'll do then is... I could concentrate there. Right. So we'll shift you. You don't have a lot of movement there, which is not great. The reason for that is obviously they're in zone of control. So what I'm going to try and do then is bring you... Oh, you're actually within range, but I'm going to shift you a little bit further. Right, they're still good there. So what I'm going to do then is select... Oh, do you not have the ability to launch a full attack? Okay, that's fine. I mean, that division's actually pretty strong there. The 178th is actually pretty much a problem. Now, I probably won't be able to break this. Something to bear in mind is obviously fort level as well. You can see that they do have level 2 pretty much across the board, which does not help us out. It does hinder us pretty much. So, hasty attacks like that are not worthwhile then. What I'll do then... Right. Shift you there. Reform that division then. What we can do is use it for a probing attack. See if it's actually successful. Okay, 4-9, 4-9. I use it over here against clear. Oh, I should put details on there. Right, no success. It does mean I'm actually weaker over here to the north, but what I can do is actually shift that there. Shift you back. So be a little bit further. Right, so that didn't work out. If I go ahead and check out the battle results. So yeah, that was just a scout there. Yeah, they just had no chance. So I probably messed that up by moving things around, but this is it. You do have to go through the point of discovery. Okay, well, what I'll do then... So it's 5-5. So I'll shift you there. Right. What I'm going to do then is hit this cavalry division. So we do push them back, which is good. Use it against this one as well. And we do succeed. And rout the division as well. That's really good news. Excellent, excellent. Right, that gives me much more to work with over here. So I'll have you shifted. Now, what do we have to work with here? So we do have guns, we do have some stugs, we have some pioneers. What do we have support-wise I could assign? Okay, really not that much. What corps is this? 23rd. Right. I'm going to have you sent to Army Group Center. It's going to cost me some points, but I'm going to have them move to where they need to be. And then I can actually dole them out as needs be. Not necessarily the best plan, but it's one that might work, or at least be useful. Okay, let's see. 23rd. What do we have here then? So we do have the 150mm guns. I'll have the heavy werfers transfer to the 23rd Corps over there. Sorry about this sniffling, I don't know. Sometimes you just get a random cold. Right, there we go. So we do have the 101st Heavy Werfer Battalion there. So ideally that will come in handy. So what we're looking to do here then is... I'm looking to try and force a... just something of a chink over here. One of the East to wait to bloom. Yeah. I love that heavy. Okay. So I could attack this position with a decent deal strength. I could assign them actual direct support, but it's probably better off staying within the core. Just shift them a little bit further forward. It might even be worthwhile to take a look at their core commander and see if there's anybody better. He's not bad. It's okay. I'll shift them up. Right. So again, this is a bit of a risk. And unfortunately, I can't go for the full attack, a planned attack, sorry. Due to them having expended movement. Neither can I over there. That's really rough. Okay, so I'll probably book myself by moving things around. So, that is rough. That is really rough. Right. So I'm going to go with a planned attack. And we reduce the fort level and we force them to retreat, which is fantastic. Okay, that's really good news. It does exhaust the division, really, so they're not going to go any further today. But we have what we needed there, which is really precious. Now, as far as it goes, I could attack here to the south, but that's a tough position, sorry. So, I can have the 102nd and the 251st go for the hasty attack, and kind of hope for the best. Yeah, no dice. Just scout there. And we have no ability to attack yet further. So, that was rough. Okay, what I'm going to do is shift these down a bit. Right, that does leave a chink. But I think it's acceptable for the time being. Okay, but we do have some progress over here. So what I'll do then is concentrate here. I will have to move the airfields back just in case. Or what I could potentially do then is shift you to cover this aspect, but I might not do that. Okay, so not quite what I was hoping for, but at least we did actually manage to break across the river. The good news is that has removed those fortifications, which is really ideal. It means that any attacks there in subsequent turns will be easier. I do have the panzers, but then again, it's one of these of, it's a woeful division, really. Yeah, you take a look at what it should be and what it actually is, and it's like, yeah, no good. No dice. Okay, so moving down the front then. We do, of course, have the 3rd Panzer. But probably better to use a knife before that. There's a big concentration of force here, but what we want to do then is take the force on the front and have it melt around if possible. It is tempting to actually go ahead and just take control of the rail line so I can actually convert it. It is a risky strategy, but it is one that is potentially worthwhile. Right, it's going to be really this core that's going to open things up. I do have a division over here in the rear. That is pretty handy. It might be worthwhile potentially to add an additional division there. But we are lacking a division here, so at least that does give me something to play with. Right. So that's 6, that's decent enough to work with. That's obviously overstacked. We'll go with that then. So I'm going to have you assigned to the 6th core. Right, we'll have you assigned here. Okay. I don't have much to work with here, so what I'm going to do then is take this and have it just move to cover the area. It's not especially important to cover it, but the important aspect is to really just put the zone of control out there. I mean, brigades don't do that. But what I mean by is just actually occupying that area. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is, what do I actually have in here? Artillery, I don't have a huge amount, but we do actually have some pioneers, so they do come in handy. General Lieutenant. He's not bad, I guess. Okay. The 339 isn't in the best shape, but it does have enough to actually go for a planned attack, and it has a decent amount of men. So I'm going to have it attack. We do achieve a minor victory there, but obviously we do not push them out. But that wasn't bad. It does weaken them pretty dramatically. Right. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to go for a planned attack. Oh wow. Okay. What I was going to try and do then is actually push up this way, but it does not look like that's going to happen. So we'll shift the focus of the men then. Difficulty is just the amount of force over here. That's unfortunate. I could push them, but I think I'm going to go and push them just to open this up. I do want to have another avenue to advance to the north. Okay, we do actually shatter them. So, that's good. That's good. Suppose. it's something. It clears some ground for us to work with. Right. So what I need to do then is we're going to hit the 162nd. Air power helping us out. We do push them back. Okay, I don't have enough for a full planned attack, but I can go for a hasty attack. The 129th Division is pretty strong here, actually. Yeah, but even then, just scouted. No dice. I was hoping we could have pushed them back as well. I might have something potentially to do that with. It could be that we have the 161st move over here to push that. Question is it necessary? But it would give me potentially the ability to move over here behind them. Yeah, what I'm kind of trying to think to do here then, let me draw out the arrows. I'm going to change the size of the arrows. Yeah, what I'm thinking of doing, or what I wanted to do was actually to have that, ooh, that's a very chunky arrow. I want to really be able to move the infantry up over this way. The reason being, if I can approach that rail line from south, I do want to push up towards Talanin. As to whether that's going to actually happen or not is another one. This way is going to be... it's not great. I may yet have the armor actually push this way. The reason being, we do have swamp over here. We do have the forest, but at least that is a... We're not having to cross through forest. We're not having to cross over the river. That's not a bad position, but even then it's not great. I think what we might do then is take the armor north. I do have another panzer division this way. We do have the motorized that way. So it might be worthwhile to head in that direction. It's not great. I use this tool. It is called Epic Pen. There's a free version, and I'm using the paid version. Whatever you want to call it. But it's really handy. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but it just comes in real handy. Especially for games like this, just to try and show what you wanted to do. Very nice. Right, okay. Don't have a lot to work with here. Yeah, it indeed is. Indeed it is. Right. I'm going to shift you back. Now it's well worth checking out. I use it quite often. It's really useful. I'm sure you'd like it. Right, we do have the 161st here. Yeah. I don't have the ability to launch a full attack. That's really depressing. Is it enough? No. That is one tough son of a... Yeah, no. You'll love it. Trust me, you'll love it. Okay. That's not what I could have done with there. I could have really done with them actually going through for me. I'm going to shift another division. I need to move through here. I think that is going to be an important point. Come on. That's it. Yes. That's what I needed. Okay. Now, we might potentially have a way through here. Hard to say. I could shift up over here just to try and get an idea of what we've got up against. Let's see. You don't have any movement. There's 12 there, but I can't shift you. So you're going to kind of be moving out here in front to try and give us a picture of what's going on. Shift you here. There is a division and a headquarters. There isn't a fortification, so I'm going to go ahead and just probe. Oh, come on, that was so close. So close there. But we know there is the 30th Army there. We do see some motorized behind that. What I'm going to potentially do then is we do have the 900th Lair, however you pronounce it, motorized brigade. Oh, so these regiments. I always forget what the bloody thing is. Yeah. Had that been shifted there, we could have actually pocketed that. There is a second line of Soviet forces over here, but I do want to push through this. I want to push on towards Reserve, but I want to push on towards Kalinin. The thing is, I'm not going to head for Moscow per se. I'm going to head for Kalinin to try and get access to those supplies, really. I want to try and force them to shift that position. I want them to abandon this position once it's flanked. I mean, we do have this gap over here, which is brilliant. It would give these guys a real bad day. Okay. You have 142% fuel. You have 137. Hmm. Question is it worth it just keep on pushing that? I would like to have more room there, but it isn't entirely necessary. It would be nice though to shift that headquarters back. Maybe we use another division. Shift you there. Okay, I can't go for the full attack, but I can go for the hasty. And we do force them back. We force the headquarters over here. We route the 251st. So I'm pretty on board with that. So a bit of a different move over here. Now, what I'm going to do then is use the brigade, the 900th, to try and just get an idea of what we're facing here. So, okay. Now, the thing is, I do have the panzer divisions. I can probably smash those aside. But that's something to bear in mind. But of course, do bear in mind, guys, there is the publisher sale on Steam. Go ahead and check that out. Definitely worth it. And there is a Field of Glory tournament ongoing as well. So, yep, go ahead, check those both out. That'd be much appreciated. Definitely worth your time. Right. Okay. What do you guys reckon so far? So before we go any further forward, how do you think things are going? Do you think this is the right path to pursue? What do you reckon? I'll give Chan a few moments here to catch up. I feel like we might be heading in the right direction. I'm looking for that open terrain, and it does seem to be a way to get there. Aye. This is going to be difficult to deal with, but it does give us an advantage, I suppose you could say. And the thing is, I could move... We're sort of geared towards pushing through here, but we have found a way through. It might be worthwhile to seize that as much as possible. Use the infantry to push through the weaker flanks here. But then this is it. This is a tough old position there. If I try to flank the Soviets, and it looks like we do have that ability. We do have a chink in that armor. That's probably the only division that can stand up to us. So what I'm going to do then is... you're attached to the 3rd Panzer Group directly. Where are the corps? So I've got the 5th Corps over here. I've got the Panzer Corps. Which has... Right. Okay. I'm going to shift you up over there. Have you assigned to that corps? Luckily it is free. Okay. So, I'm looking for a probe and attack here, just to try and get an idea of what their strength is like. Okay, they're not that strong. What else do we have here? Thank you very much there, Steve, for the subscription. Sure, they will appreciate it. Okay, so they're not terribly strong. Good news is I still have some movement available to me here, which is excellent. So I think what we do then is, let's see, what's the fuel amount here? Panzers are looking tasty. We do have 3 Panzer divisions actually, which is brilliant. So, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use the 14th. I'll use... Yeah, you've got slightly more fuel. I'll use the 36. Move them up over there. Are you under the Panzer... Ah, God damn it. Oh, no, you're not. You are under your own corps, which is good news. Okay. Now, I could use the 900th to support them as well. Possibly. What I'm going to do then is actually shift this up over here. I am going to have them actually launch a hasty attack, just to try and weaken the position. Not too far off from winning that, actually. Not too far. I do have a chink right now, but I can actually move these forces in over here. Essentially what I'm doing is actually taking the 3rd Panzer and actually having it turn to the north. Okay, so they have been weakened there. So what I'm going to do then is attack with a plant attack here. We do have air support. And we do succeed. The 107th is routed. Very good. Very good. We routed something else as well, which is the Dovator Cavalry Group Army. Okay, but that has been routed. And the path is now open to us. So, let's see. What I'm going to do then is shift you up just there for the time being. I can have you split up into 3, gives me a little bit more to work with. Though, truth be told, I could shift them up over here. Cut the rail line. But, let's see. In fact, what I'm going to do then is going to move you there. Keep you close to the front lines, but I'm going to keep you in that position there. The reason is I'm maintaining the fuel that we have. I'm maintaining their distance, well, their proximity to the front line over here, to the actual logistics. The issue is we don't really have a supporting rail line over here, which is not great. I may in fact have that moved over there, but yeah, you can see it's going to take some time. But we might be able to push on this railroad over there. But what we have now is we have a flank. It isn't snow, it's clear terrain. Well, it's clear weather, which is fantastic. But we do have the ability to push over here now. I mean, to be fair, it might be that we push this way. But I would like to push towards Talon. But if I take a look, what do we have fortification-wise? Apparently no fortifications here, which is actually something to really bear in mind. They are weak on the ground there, but they do have a lot of units that will just pull back. I'm trying to encourage them to pull back by just pushing over here, and I think that is probably worthwhile. It does put us in the open terrain, and it does put us on the northern side of Moscow to a degree. But I want to push towards this area to push towards Talanin. No, Kalanin. I got it right. Kalanin. Not Talanin. Not this time. Okay. Again, sorry about the sniffling. Okay. So I do have a lot of room to work with here. A lot of room. Okay, it looks like there might be a unit over here, actually. Either way, we'll move forward. I'm going to move there first, just to take that unit out of the equation. Okay. Okay, there is a security force. Not exactly much of a problem. Okay, move you up. Go for a hasty attack. Right, we take that. Then routed. Okay, so there isn't an opening in the line. It's a shame. I could shift around to the north, however, flank it yet again. That is a potential move. It is a very risky one. What do we have here? Okay. Now, that's clear. There's no other unit there. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move over here, just to keep proximity with our own lines. We get a sense of what we're dealing with as well. So, you do have the ability to launch a planned attack, which is amazing right now. That's exactly what I need. Okay. Let's try, but let's see. Do we have anything that can launch a ground attack? Bomb unit. Okay, I do have little bombers and etc. Not many, really. There's only really that squadron that's any use. Okay, reason why I'm doing this is I want to try And just cause a bit of disruption, really. Okay. No longer available, it seems. This is kind of a case of now or never. I do have the ability to assign them something. I could give them some Panzerjägers or some Pioneers. It is clear terrain, which is really good. There's a fort, however, so I'm going to give them Pioneers. Reason is to try and just give them that little bit of a boost. So, come on. Show me the money. That's looking good. That's looking real good. Okay, it's not a rout, but it's good. It is good. It pushes them back. It breaks that line. Okay, I'm going to keep them in position like so. So I could push to that position there, and then we could look at breaking through here. And it would flank the army over here. I would be flanking the 49th army and probably putting them in a real bad position. What do you guys think then? What do you reckon? Do we push this way? Or do I shift that unit that way and push and then try and flank... Well, just try and flank this army, but obviously then push north. So... what I would do is move you there. And bring up another unit over here. Have them placed probably there to then push that unit and push that unit. And then we could try to push through that way. 2 unit hasty attack better than 1 unit deliberate. Is it? Is it really? Fair enough. In fairness, Roller does know more about the one of these than I do. Oh, okay, that's good to know. That's really good to know. Yeah, why in the breakthrough? That's a good point. Oh, I see. That's good to know, then. Now, luckily, what I can do here... Well, at least there, at least. At least I can whine about somewhat. They can't be moved. I just want to give for something to be moved there. I could use the security force, potentially. I may, in fact, use the security division just to do that. In fact, I'll move the security division over here. It's not brilliant, I'm not proud, but it does the job. At least that widens that, and it does give us decent enough coverage, I suppose you could say. Right. I think we'll probably push this position. Maybe. There's not that much beyond that. It will cause them to panic, I reckon. Alright, 130 at 115. 140. So, we'll take on board what was said and actually move 2 units over here to then go for deliberate. And... let's see. 14, 16. How far could they move? They could take that and they could clear this area. So what I'll do then is place you there. Place you there. Just to cover the ground. They didn't have that much left to attack with. I just want to make sure we have the ability to put that pressure there while we push this way. Alright, we're going to shift both. Okay, good. I'll give it to you. Has you got enough fuel? I can have them reassigned elsewhere. That's all true. But then the thing is, I want to control these hexes here. I want to try and push them back and just hold that space for the time being. But we'll see. Okay, so counterattacks are more effective, aren't they? So, we'll hit the north first, I reckon. Saying that. Okay, well that is the tougher position, so I'll go ahead and hit that. Okay, that's definitely done that. Yep, there we go. Okay, I can see the wisdom of using two hasty attacks. That's brilliant, actually. Yep, that definitely does the job. Okay. It's a good question there, Birdman. To be fair, I'd say there are scenarios out there where you can play, and it does really help you to learn the mechanics. But I suppose that, I don't know, I'm one of those guys where I just like to play and just learn that way. Now then, what do you guys reckon, then? I could bring up the 3rd Panzer Division over there and use it then, but it's probably better to use these guys. 8 there. 8's really good still. Okay. Just south of Reserve. Reserve, how the hell you say it. So we'd take the city there. I guess we'll give it a go. Do I have another unit over here? Oh, is that just part of the same call? Hang on a tick. Oh, that's why. That's not good. Okay. We'll hit them here. That does the job. That really does the job. Wow, this is really effective. Okay. Armor doing a really good job here. Yeah, force them across the river. Okay, I'm really happy about that. So I think what we do then, I think there's some unit in there. I do have the ability to continue, so I'm going to push up yet further. Oh, do we capture the city? Wow, that's really, really handy. That's very nice there. It's very nice. Oh, we haven't captured the city, but we've forced them out. That's interesting. I suppose that's the proximity. Right, let's see. Luckily there's no fortifications here, so we are pretty good to go. Yep, there we go. They are routed. Just not enough there. Would have been nice. Okay, we do still have another Panzer Division. Yeah, really is their spearhead. Fully agree. Okay, so it's going well so far. Right, hit you. I've been converted to the Great Church of the Hasty. Okay. Now, it might be worthwhile to keep pushing, but the thing is, I just don't have that much in the way of fuel, really. So it might be worth to sweep to the south, but then again, I could actually be quite nice on the way to Kalinin like that, but even then, that's just, it's too much. We're too little there. But we have broken through, which has been really effective so far. The question is trying to hold that. If I keep on pushing this way, well, we do gain that ground. It is going to be risky, though. It may be worthwhile to push to the south just to flank them. What do you guys reckon so far, then? Do we push... I'm conscious here of obviously how far we can move. So we could move like this, or we could in fact head south and see what we can manage there. I don't know, it's hard to say really what is a better move. There's always the consideration moving north to take the city of Reserve. And that's not a bad idea. Yeah, keep the momentum potentially. It's not a bad idea. Obviously, we do have the third option of going to the north. I think this is it. Obviously, if we move forward, I mean, it would be nice to disrupt these airfields, and it does put us closer to Moscow. I think this is it, really. It's probably going to backfire to a degree, but I think the more we push now, the sooner we push now, I guess the better, really. It's not going bad so far, so I think we just keep on going. What's the old saying now? You thrust a bayonet into the flesh until you find steel, and then you find something else. I can't remember exactly what the saying is now, but we'll push forward then. Yeah, that's true. See, this is I could shift south over here and actually hit the airfields and try and grab some fuel, but that's not a lot of fuel. Yeah, take positions like this as well, getting the fortifications out of the way would be nice. Is it really? Yeah, I can imagine so. I mean, this is it. If you play the scenarios before, you get to test things and really see what you can do. Yeah, it's well worth it. Okay, we do have that position there, but this is something I didn't even know about, so it's good to find out. I'll shift the headquarters up. Okay, they are going to be out here on their own, that's a problem. But we'll keep going. They surrendered. What do we grab here then? Okay. Okay, that looks to be the extent to which they can move. I'm going to head south just to muck with them there. Try and capture that fuel. They sadly don't have enough, but yeah, okay. It is a real risky position. They are really far out there, and probably will be cut off next turn. But it has pushed us forward. It has actually opened up one of the fortifications outside Moscow. I mean, we're not too far away from the Kalinin front headquarters as well. We'll see what we can manage. Okay. Okay. Just for safety, man. See, they could be shifted up over here. Just shift them off the rail line. Is it third or fourth Panzer Group? Third, okay. Fueling isn't especially great there. So I think what I'm going to do is actually keep that on the rail lines for now. I have it set to refit. I mean, they're obviously really exposed. It would have been nice to have had something else there, but then this is the thing, isn't it? When you keep on pushing, you are liable to be cut off. But then again, this is what is to be expected. But we have broken, importantly, aspects of the defensive line over here. So that's going to cause them problems. They're going to have to shift to respond to that. Who knows? We might find weakness elsewhere. Possibly here in the south. We have opened this up, so we might be able to get an encirclement from the south if we are very lucky. We'll see. We'll see what we can manage. Right, let's see. Do you have you there? You're there for partisans, really. A couple divisions to the rear here. I think that's obviously the point of weakness there. I'm going to do another sweep of reconnaissance. I really don't give a monkeys about cities for the most part. Let's reduce that. Oh, actually, no, that increases it. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh well, whatever. Okay. Whoops. Right. I think here, and then we push on forward. Level 2, level 2. That's clear. Clear, but it's across a river. So there. Okay. So, as our good friend Marauder there said, multiple hasty attacks are better than deliberate with one. We'll use this as a battering ram. So we'll attack hasty there. So you can really change the level of detail you get here, which is quite nice. So what we're going to do is change it down to 3, and we win very nicely. Okay, hit this unit over here. Ooh. We don't manage it, but we might be able to manage it on a second. Yeah, looks like we manage it. Oh, no. Yeah, oh, thank God for that. You said a lot of things. You're meant to be dead. Oh, dear. Comes back from the dead to haunt me. Okay. I'm going to go for a hasty attack just to try and reduce them somewhat. Oh, okay, fair enough. I was hoping we'd have some infantry over here, but we don't. In fairness, I can shift on through there. I think this is what Boros was talking about. You can just shift on through there. Probably have to shift these units. So we'll give it a go then. Difficulty is obviously, if I could choose, I would have units deployed elsewhere. Either way, this needs to be widened out. Okay, I guess we'll go for a deliberate attack here and hope. Looking good. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's even better. Okay, that's really good so far. Don't think so here. No. Right, we do have a couple divisions that could attack that small. Okay, we'll try that. I want to release the panzers here. Looks like we manage it. Ooh, no. That's a shame. Yeah, the other division there would have made it. Yeah, no. Should have committed more there. That's a shame. That's a tough old position there. It's kind of buggered me. That's a shame. That's not what I wanted there. So close. Should have just committed something. Panzer division would have made that possible, perhaps. We could we could move pretty quick. Well, pretty far there. But that really has put a hole in that coffin, really. God damn it, I should have just used another one and we would have managed that. It's really annoying. It's nearly broken, but yeah, that's not enough. Gotta regret that. Not really enough to move them off the front line either. Bugger me. Okay. Right, I'm gonna use that division and then pull it out. I wanna take this position so I can free the armor. Nearly. Reduces their defensive fortifications. They can't even attack. God bloody damn it. Even pioneers. They can't even go for a bloody full attack. God fucking damn it. Okay, I'm gonna give them the panzer support just to make sure. But it's not good. Again, no. Should have just bloody hell. Shows you, doesn't it? Finally manage it. Jesus, that was not worth it. How you doing there, Blopka? Good to have you, my friend. They are free to move there, but that's taken a lot of what I really wanted. So that did not go well. It's good to have you, my man. Oh, that was rough. Yeah, that was rough. I mean, maybe had we turned south, we probably... Yeah, if we'd turned south, we probably would have been able to do that, but who knows? Would have been very close, but that's something to bear in mind. These positions are very formidable. Okay, you can push in there, which is good. God, it's not good to have, like, panzers over here, is it? Might be better just to transfer the panzers over there. Will cost us a lot in fuel. Yeah, this is one of those where, if you play the scenario, you would probably be able to figure out a more efficient strategy than what I'm doing here. But this is learning blind. Oh dear. Still love the map mod though. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Move to the rail line. Yeah, there's not that much rail cap, is there? Are those rail lines even active, actually? No, they're not. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna move them to there, where the rail lines are. Double check. Yep. Oh, it's definitely worth doing so. Definitely worth it. The map mod I'm using is here. I'll put the link in the actual chat. Definitely worth downloading. It's such a nice looking map in my opinion. Obviously, it doesn't apply over here, but just take a look at the difference. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. Okay. So I'm moving the 3rd Panzer to the north. I think it will be worth it. Yeah, it really does. I think it's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I think by moving the Motries and Arbor to the north. I think it will definitely help out. Could even potentially push these guys up over here. Might be worth doing so just to give us that bit more ground to work with. Yeah, considering they're going to have to go like that. See how it helps. At least I know the rail lines. There is a turn limit to the scenario, yes. I forget how many turns it is, but it's quite a few turns. Okay. Move them there. Yeah, but then buy the fuel would be good. War in Russia? I've not seen War in Russia, actually. I'm going to Google that. Is it worth taking a look at? Gregory's War in Russia. I'll check that out later, actually. That must have been what Daz was talking about earlier. Oh dear. It would be faster, but it's one of those. I like to waffle before I get into things just to familiarize myself, really. Oh wow. And what you're saying is you've just come out of college, right? Only just. Right, at least I can actually work on the rail line there. That might give us a bit more there. It's giving us a little bit extra, but not tremendous amounts. We'll shift up there then. Good news is I can cut the rail lines. Might be worth moving that way, to be honest, but maybe not so much. Had I known, I would have moved down that way, but oh well. Yeah, that looks like the limit of what we can manage. But it has put them in a very precarious position. I think had we moved south, we would have cut the entire front there. That would have been amazing. But that's still not far. It's going to put them in a difficult position, right? Oh, wow. That's really cool. Okay. Push you there. Might even be able to take the city of Vyazma. I can see the chat, yes. I don't know if there's Twitch comments. Is that different? We do take the city though. So we've taken the city of Vyazma, which is really good. Yeah, I reckon if we'd have pushed out, we probably would have managed it, or maybe not even far off. But it still puts them in a bad position, so it's not bad. It's bold and brave. Yeah, I can see them. Yeah, I can see them. This is not good. Oh well, it's better than nothing. We'll have additional panzers available next turn. Okay. Yeah, it's a really good game. You'd love this map mode as well. I'm going to go ahead and post it in the link in the chat again and just download it. It's well worth it. It just looks fantastic. Really does look fantastic. Obviously, when I zoom out, this is like zoom level 2, but just look at the difference in detail there. Holy mother of God, that's a lot of difference. Okay, so it's unfortunate that we weren't able to cut off the front there, but we weren't too far away from it. Indeed. Now, I have been burnt before by not saving before end of the turn. That happened. Okay, well that's unfortunate. We'll go ahead and take a look at another scenario then. That's a real big shame. Just... that really hurts. That really hurts. Okay. There we go. Right, we'll take a look at something else then. Okay, the Zoids must capture a real Belgorod and Horkoff. That's a shame. I tend to get... I don't know what it is really recently. I do tend to get some problems. The game's usually stable as hell. Must be just some sort of issue I'm having at the moment. Oh well. I just wish I could have saved. I just wish I could have had to save. Oh, I could have close to tears right now. Christ. Okay. I guess what we'll do then is we'll take a look at one of the scenarios, sort of tutorial scenarios. I'm really bad at these, guys. I'm really bad at these. What's Road to Moscow? That's 17 turns as well. Maybe, but I've had problems with it in general recently. So, an autosave would be nice. It's probably something on my end. It might just need reinstalling, perhaps. The game is usually solid as a rock, as Van Bishop says there. Okay, Road to Smolensk. This to Berlin. There's not long left as well. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to actually see what happened there. Yeah, too much to handle. Retreat from Leningrad. That sounds interesting. We'll go ahead and take a look at Retreat from Leningrad. That's encouraging. We'll go ahead and just play that a slower. Maybe not as slow. Can we put the autosave on, like, Pavlov's, like, hierarchy of needs? Or is it Pavlov? Pavlos? I forget which one it is. But just throw it on there. Like a shrimp on the barbie, you know. This is definitely a resurgent Red Army, though, here in 44. Oh well. Okay. This is not the game. This must be something on my end. So... we'll try one more time. But yeah. Trust me, this is not the game. This is... it's probably something on my end. So we'll see. We'll try it again. The sexy map mod will make it. 9 That's one bloody way to put it. That's bloody one way to put it. Okay. Right, okay. Well, at least we get to see a bunch of different ones here. We'll try Drama on the Danube. See how that looks. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm really not a techie guy. There must be some problem here. It's not the game per se, but there must be something in the background. Okay. My desktop is bad, yes. You haven't even seen the second desktop. Okay. Well, that's not working for some reason, so we're going to go to plan B, and we're going to play some War of the Pacific for a few minutes. Because I'm really, really panicking. Stop judging me. Okay. We're going to have a bit of fun here, then. So, let's see. Japanese computer, Allied computer. We'll go with Allied computer. We'll play something for fun here. We'll play... Just don't tell Matrix I played another game. They'll kill me. I tried. But that wasn't the game. That must be something on my end. I'll figure out what that is later on. Oh, is it being crashes? Okay, well, that's fair enough. Typical, isn't it? Okay, we'll go for the Battle of the Coral Sea. Oh, War of the Pacific is like my bread and butter. Let's wait for it to load in. FYI, there is an issue. Due to the fact that I have a 1920 by 1080 monitor, the game really wasn't kind of intended for that. So, yes, the monitor is actually larger than the battle area, so we kind of have to be a little bit awkward here. So we're going to go through things pretty quickly. But we do have American Striking Force over here, so we have Shokaku, Zubikaku, Mayoko, Guro. That's awesome. Let's take a look at what we got. FYI, the animations are like this due to me playing in windowed mode. Let's see. We're an escort to 9. We can only strike out to 8, so it doesn't really particularly matter. Let's see. We do have 3 carriers. No, so 2 carriers. Shokaku and Zubikaku. Push is 20. Actually saying that now, 15,000 feet is sufficient. Right. Gonna up that. Rest. See, dive bombs aren't that amazing, so I do like to up them a little bit. Set that like so. Whoops. Okay, so we are going to go through this quickly. We only have a few minutes, so we'll get things going as we can. Didn't think I'd be actually doing War of the Pacific today, but here we are. God damn it. I live for this crap. I used to manage a pub as well, which is a little bit... Well, about 2 years ago I used to like work in pub management. Well, only the pub, only one pub. Yeah, FYI, if I go down like that, it goes like that, so it's kind of amusing actually. So it's one of these, you just kind of have to roll with things. You kind of get used to being disappointed consistently and constantly, so you just kind of flow with it. Okay, so we have deep ocean over here, shallow ocean over here. We are going to be more than likely molested by subs over this way. You rip it. Love it. Okay. But it's somewhat... I mean, we do obviously want to strike towards Port Moresby over here. For sake of gameplay, because I do want to show you guys a good time. We are going to be quite aggressive here and move into the Solomon Sea. Normally I wouldn't do this. And in fact, I'm still not going to do it. Even this is risky. Okay, low, direct. Home port is going to be... I'm still going to have it set as truck for the time being, then, actually. Okay. Yeah, we're just doing a bit of one in Pacific because things kind of went funky. Okay. You I need to get out of here pretty quick. We do have a landing force of here at Tulagi. They're kinda gonna be buggered shortly. Yeah. Yeah, no, that'd be brilliant. That would be brilliant. So I'm going to do things very quickly here. So just FYI, that wasn't a failing of one of Pacific. Sorry, one of the East earlier. I think that's something on my end that I need to get fixed. I seem to have problems with it. So I'll try and get that fixed. It might be something to do with the map mod, but I doubt it. So I used to be able to run the mods fine. So it must be just something on my end that I might need to update. Okay. I'm going to bugger New Caledonia and move to the north. Don't even say that. Don't even say it. That really suck. Oh dear. Them fine words, my friend. Those fine words. Right, we'll head that way. There are Australian cruisers around, and obviously there's going to be the USN CVs, but we'll be fine. Just going to get the very basic move set here. We'll ideally get some action. It's a nice little thing for you guys who've not seen this kind of game before either. You get an idea of what it looks like. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that. I don't really know that much about CMO. CMNO. Oh, is it just CMO now? CMO, isn't it now? God, I'm like a bloody fossil at this point now. Right, so we've got them set up over there. It's very rough patterns, not very effective, but still works. Okay, so I'm going to turn the patrols off there. Let's see, what do we have over here? Rabal? Okay, we're going to give them some torpedo ordnance, because that is kind of an important aspect to take into account. Music's not particularly fitting for this right here, but oh well. Do I seriously have two headquarters? Wow, that's kind of crazy. Crazy necessary here. Decent aviation spot, but okay, it's kind of making no real use of them. Okay. So we do have Yabali. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Right, just remain in position. They're saying that I can actually move to... I'm going to move to Gazmata, but not unload. So... Oh, not that one. Do not unload, remain on station. You're going to... go ahead and escort. Actually, what I'm going to do then is grab... Oh, there's no room. But I can undock you anyway. Right, we've got 6 minutes. Gonna try and make this good. I've got nothing in here that's really any decent, so that can go like that. Okay, they're going to move there. You're on surface action. Facts. Retirement is allowed. Set to free. Follow. Right, Virgo, and then we'll end the turn in about 5 secs. Okay. Absolute. Direct. Okay. I do have a force over here as well, which is very handy. Shoo-hoo. Though Shoho's actually going to go ahead and link up. Actually, don't say that. Indecisions. Making quick decisions is not good. Okay, in fact, have you head towards Gazmata? We do actually have reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is a thing. Just give me a moment. I'll run one turn before I do finish tonight. Oh wow, we don't have much here. Okay, yep, there's really not much work with. Oh god, A5, M4s. Ah! Ew. Right, these guys are just... You're not able to take an naval search for the time being. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of One Pacific for the time being. Don't have too long, but we'll get it going. Right. You are going to have to sprint. Right, that can stay here and die. So can that. So in fact, what I'm going to do then is set a waypoint. Then I'll end the turn, because I really do not have much time left. You ought to see when we're doing a full campaign. Bear in mind, like, this is a 9020 by 1080 monitor in the yellow. That is the actual size of the battlescape. This is the full size of the campaign. This is why my series does take a long time. The one I'm playing against DHG and the one I'm playing against Admiral Dadman as I do play by email. But yes, you'll fight in the entire Pacific War one day at a time. Okay. Not amazing. Let's get these aircraft out. Right. Drop tanks. 14. It's fine. I love that. That's brilliant. I do like that one. That's made me chuckle. Right, we'll go for 14 as the max. Transport's going to be stood down. Don't need to do anything. Float planes. That's a lot of... Oh, float fighters, I should say. I'm going to leave them as they are. So I don't have time to really do too much. So again... Right, we'll go for that super quick Coral Sea, but I'm just going to give you guys something to see before we do end the evening. Did I end the turn? I think I clicked no. End orders phase. Yep, there we go. So at least you guys get to see something before we do actually finish up. So I'm fortunate about one of these. So I was looking forward to seeing that, but at least we get to see a turn in one in the Pacific. I don't think we're going to see any carrier-on-carrier combat in the next 2 minutes, but we'll see. That's unfortunate. The game will jump around, by the way, due to the fact that I'm playing it in windowed mode. Just going to turn the music off. There we go. Okay. That's a shame. But that is the risk that we take over here in the Solomon Sea. Endurance ratings. Yeah, you're right there. Ooh, so we will see the USN aircraft attack over here. So they are attempting to hit, and they do hit the APD Yazuki. Oh yeah, absolutely is. Absolutely is. Kaemaru takes a torpedo. Okay. Unfortunate, but it happens. So I'm going to speed things up. Or not, because I can't click it. So because I'm playing this in windowed mode, it does do janky stuff like that. In full screen mode, you have no problems like this. Yeah, Kaemaru goes down. Unfortunate. But not entirely unexpected. Obviously, we are rushing here just to try and get some gameplay before we do finish. But it's fun. Hopefully, guys, you might see something you like about the game. It's definitely worth your time. It's one of the best games you could probably ever get just for like time investment versus cost. Right, okay. If we had another turn, we probably could get some combat going. Oh, okay, we do have G3M2, so let's just drag that towards more speed. This will be interesting. Did I have them set on... Oh, they must have a second mission set to airfield attack. That'd be why. Okay. We do knock out a couple aircraft. Ugh, that's not going to be fun. Yep. They're moving out quickly. Yeah, not fortunate. You can try and save them. There is ways to try and save them by moving the float fighters over that way. Yeah, devastating. But there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, my time has come to an end. It's been a lot of fun. I really do apologise. It is something on my end. Something I'm going to have to figure out. Hopefully be able to get that back and running, really. But we did have a fun time, though. We did have a lot of fun while it was working. It's a shame that we never got to see what happened afterwards, but hey. At least I never failed, right? So once again, do check out the publisher sale. So obviously that's going to be Matrix/Sivrin on Steam. Go ahead and check that out. Really good games on sale. Really awesome prices. There's of course going to be there is an ongoing Field of Glory 2 tournament as well, so go ahead and check that one out. And thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you have enjoyed this, and if you have enjoyed this, you can find me over on YouTube at XTRG. Let me see if I can find... Wait, there. That's the current one. Where's my other one? There we go. That is one of the series I'm doing at the moment, which is against a historical gamer, so that's pretty awesome. But I will link my channel in the little box there. And if you guys have enjoyed this, please do go ahead and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. Until next time, thank you so very much for watching. Thank you very much to Matrix and Sliven for letting me be here. Good night, and have a beautiful day tomorrow. Goodbye for now, guys. See you later.